Good morning. Hello. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Karen Gerwitz, President and CEO of the World Trade Center Denver. We are going to be learning about the Global Trade Activator immigrant program at the World Trade Center Denver today. We have a special announcement from the Office of International and Immigrant Affairs in the City of Aurora. Thank you for joining again. We are a business network. The World Trade Center is an international business network and services organization dedicated exclusively to international business. It is the only thing that we do. Our mission is to see that the Colorado companies in our region are successful internationally. Our sole purpose is to help local companies succeed internationally. We seek to inspire global businesses and help companies to succeed, whether it's importing, exporting, setting up global operations, hiring international employees, et cetera. So to see what global trade can do, not just for our bottom lines, we also want to see that Colorado thrives on the international stage. It's not just about imports and exports either. We're bringing prosperity to our state and neighbors by forging other neighbors around the world to connect with us. So international trade goes far beyond the movement of goods and services. It's also about sharing knowledge and ideas, sharing data. And so we specialize in all things cross borders, and we're delighted to be with you today. We have a great panel set up for you today. Let me introduce them now. First off, our special guest, Ricardo Gambetta. He is the manager of the Office of International and Immigrant Affairs for the City of Aurora. Ricardo has a strong executive experience in public and nonprofit sectors. He's a naturalized citizen himself from Peru. Immigrant and integration of international relations are Ricardo's passions. Ricardo is also an experienced consultant, presenter, and trainer for several national and international organizations. And he's the author of more than 25 reports and publications in the field of immigrant and international programs. Thank you, Ricardo, for being here and your support. Javion Blake is another one of our presenters. Javion is the owner of Just Chill International, a participant of our Global Trade Activator program at the World Trade Center, and he's a board member of the World Trade Center Institute. Javion grew up in Western Jamaica, where multiculturalism is a major consideration, mainly due to dominance of the tourism sector of that economy. Javion believes everyone has something unique to offer. He certainly does, and I hope you'll enjoy his story. He's in the process of leveraging that unique offering. Value can be created. Certainly, he has created a ton of value for his economy or his company and also our economy. He just created Just Chill, starting with making breadfruit chips to cover the lack of diversity in the food choices offered in the grocery shelves. To be honest, I think you'll be very inspired with Javion's story. He's expanding, and I'm very excited that he's here today. Megan Pfeiffer is the new director of the Global Trade Activator Immigrant and Refugee Program at the World Trade Center Denver. This is probably your first time to meet Megan. She is an attorney with 15 years of public policy and advocacy experience in government affairs and public affairs. Prior to joining the World Trade Center Denver, she spent the last 6 years working with immigrants, making the case for immigration reform and developing funds for the effort. So thank you all for being here today. It's really wonderful to be serving on this panel with you. At this time, I'd like to turn it over first to Ricardo Gambetta so that he can provide some information on the work that the Office of International and Immigrant Affairs for the City of Aurora does, and also to give us a special announcement about his support for this program. Ricardo.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks to Karen and World Trade Center Denver for putting together this wonderful event. Just a little information about our office. Our office was established in 2015, and we have different responsibilities in the City of Aurora. By the way, the City of Aurora is the most diverse city in the whole state of Colorado. We have a population of almost 400,000 people, and more than 22% of our local residents have been born in a different country. So truly, we are a very diverse city. So our office manages international relations for the City of Aurora. Also, we oversee the different programs for immigrants and refugees across the city. And also, we manage the language access plan. In other words, anything related to translation and interpretation services for the city. So what is making very unique our city right now is that we are the only city in the state of Colorado who have an immigrant integration plan, and one of 12 or 14 cities across the country. So yes, can you imagine? We have 19,000 cities in America, and only 14 cities have a very good immigrant integration plan. So that shows our commitment to our newcomers, and that is why we're here today. Our plan was released last December, and the new immigrant integration plan is for the next 10 years. So we have, and we cover different topics, different issues in our plan. And one of the most important issues that we have is a whole section focused on promotion of business. We want to support a small business in our city. And also we want to promote international trade in the city of Aurora. We are so close to the Denver International Airport. We have in a very strategic location right now. We want to take advantage of that. And that's why in the last couple of years, we have several companies who actually are moving into Aurora to expand their operations in Colorado and also the United States. So today, I mean, this is another great example, you know, and that's why when we talk about international trade business, we couldn't find a better partner than World Trade Center Denver. Today, we are here to talk about the Global Trade Activator, and that's why it's a great honor for me. It's a pleasure to announce that our city is making a commitment. We want to announce scholarships for this program. We want to target 30 business across Aurora and the region as well. And we want this small business, who I hope will be owned by immigrants and refugees, that we have the access, the opportunity to be part and join this great program. So for us, it's a great opportunity to continue promoting international trade business in our city. So thanks again to the World Trade Center Denver, and we're looking forward to continue working with you on these particular interesting issues. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you. I was muted. Thank you, Ricardo. Thank you so much for your support. And we so appreciate partnering with the City of Aurora on this project and other projects. Aurora certainly is incredibly diverse, such a gifted community you have there, and we want to attract them into this program. So thank you for helping us to spread the word. So right now, we'd like to switch to a short video just to inspire you about why trade is important to you as a business and to our community and our economic development. Let's listen for a little bit, and then we'll come back and you'll hear more from us at the World Trade Center as well as Javion. We are the rallying cry around trade and why it matters and why it's important.
People don't realize that Denver has a strong international community, and I think World Trade Center really brings it together.
You trade first with someone that you get to know and like. So it's those relationships that turn into business partnerships, that turn into friendships that we cherish around World Trade. And so it is really important for us to continue those friendships and to show that Colorado is open and accessible, as is the US market for business.
It has been a beautiful journey. I have been living here for almost 20 years, and every year I grow as a person, I grow as a citizen, I grow as someone who has big dreams.
30 years ago, the World Trade Center Denver was formed. At that time, in 1987, we were exporting about $1.4 billion. Today, 30 years later, $20 billion of our economy is made up from global trade, just on the export side.
Anytime you're moving things across borders, you're gonna have some obstacles. Some of those are legal, some of them are regulatory, labor laws, so your employees are gonna have different rules. Taxation becomes a problem because different countries tax income differently. So the World Trade Center does a lot to help businesses understand what those hurdles are to international trade.
Another thing they do is they have a great education program at the Institute that actually certifies people in international trade.
We've been helping companies from 5 to 5,000 people grow globally, make new connections, open new markets, and celebrate new friendships and relationships across the world.
So that's how I see trade moving, is increasingly connected, increasingly diverse, and increasingly focused on solving social problems, not at the expense of the bottom line, but in cooperation with enhancing the bottom line.
So it brings the world closer together, and it really facilitates peace. So there's not big, long, sustained wars or efforts because you can't afford the disruption in supply chain.
Trade is not just this exchange of merchandise and services and knowledge. Trades can bring connections. Trades can help us relate to one another. Trade can help us accept one another and live through peace, harmony, and dignity.
Trade has done more to reduce global poverty than probably any other effort in the history of mankind. That's a good thing.
If you teach someone how to trade, then you're teaching them a skill that will get them out of poverty.
Through trade, through cooperation, through diplomacy, we can solve any problem. I just want to be part of the people who are igniting positively that flame and back up and let the other generation take it away.
We can enhance environmental protection. We can enhance workers' rights. We can make the world a more prosperous place. We reduce global poverty, all through trade.
I hope one day I can sit and say, I was part of this. Because life is short. The story will be forever.
I hope you enjoyed that video. As you can see, we feel that trade is an altruistic force for good, for our international community and for our growth as an economy. It goes far beyond moving products at a cheaper rate or far beyond just a straight comparative advantage economic impact. There's so many good reasons that we can benefit from trade. So I do know that Ricardo needs to step away here for another meeting, but we're going to thank Ricardo again for providing this wonderful scholarship for 30 new participants into the Global Trade Activator. We're going to tell you about the Global Trade Activator now, but Ricardo, do you have any final words that you'd like to say before you step off?
No, just thank you so much for this opportunity, and we're looking forward to continue working with you and your organization on this great program. So thank you. I see you soon.
Thank you again. All right, so we're going to move right into a little bit of an overview of the World Trade Center and the program itself, and then you'll get to hear from Javion, who's a participant of the Global Trade Activator. You know, the World Trade Center has been training probably 35,000 people since our inception of 1989. And we've been really through an evolution of training. We offer everything from individual courses that you might need to a full certificate of international trade, which we'll talk to you about. And now we're launching this new incubator accelerator called the Global Trade Activator. And it's really helping companies to, if you haven't formed a company, that you'll be able to establish that company through the program and start trading in a matter of months with working with us. So Let's start with who we are. The World Trade Center's mission is to build a strong future for all of the industries in Rocky Mountain region, helping our members collaborate locally, connect strategically, and thrive on the global stage. We all believe that Colorado is much stronger when we trade. We also, here's the ways we carry out our mission. We have a number of local and global connections. We have about 350 local corporate members that are part of our network. We're also part of a worldwide network of 320 World Trade Centers in 100 countries. So we are the largest trade association in the world, and we know people who know people, is what we like to say. So we have great connections throughout the world and can connect you to them. Trade, training, and education. This is what our core competency is at the World Trade Center. We've always been trainers in trade. That's something that we've always done. I mentioned 35,000 people have gone through these trainings. So you're amongst a great network of instructors and coaches and guides that we have to support you along the way. This Global Trade Activator is basically learning on your time. We're helping you take your business into reality, and we'll talk about that in a minute. We also offer consulting expertise for companies that are really looking to get some direct support on maybe supply chain problems, compliance problems, or other more detailed trade challenges that they're facing. So we have in-depth knowledge and expertise that we can support companies along the way. Global Trade Activator is what this program is about, and we're going to be sharing with you a little bit more about that and how you can take part in it. I did want to announce that we have a very large event coming up on May 20th and 21st. This year it's virtual, so anybody can participate. It's called World Trade Day. It is the 48th annual World Trade Day. It's the largest trade conference in the nation, and we highly recommend that you sign up because it is a fantastic experience to really see thought leaders in international trade and also to get connected. There's business to business networking opportunities, there's speed networking opportunities, and there's wonderful speakers, both keynote and TED Talks that you'll really enjoy. Our theme this year is digital globalization. So we'll be featuring a lot of digital technology tools that are further enhancing trade, connectivity, and transparency. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Why is trade important? You just saw a video of why trade is important from the altruistic mindset, but let me just go to some numbers. 1 in 5 jobs in Colorado come about because of trade. Same in the US, 1 in 5, 20% of our jobs that we rely on come about because of trade. Half of all manufacturing jobs are dedicated to trade. 1 in 3 acres of US farmland is planted for export. That's nationwide. In Colorado, let me talk about some other numbers that might be appealing to you. Close to 800,000 jobs in our state are created because of trade. 90,000 people go to work every day for an international company, foreign-owned company. So international investment into our state is also bringing wealth and a boost to our economy. You might think that traders are only these large companies like Boeing and Miller Coors. It's not the case. 87% of trade happens with small businesses around the world. And so this is very obtainable for you all, very attainable for all of you to take part in. And we're going to help you, guide you in how to do it. We're going to show you the way. We're going to teach you along the way so that hopefully you can help others. This is a community-based effort. This is what we do. This is what we specialize in. And we're hoping you'll join us. You know, $23 billion comes into our economy in the state because of trade. That is no small feat. That is both with exported goods and export of services. I will say though, if you're importing, there's also opportunity for you to create new jobs, create new wealth for our community, because you're actually getting things at a cheaper and better rate. Maybe even some unique aspects that we can't even buy in the US. So Trade imports create choice. They create attainability for all of us to purchase things that we maybe wouldn't be able to otherwise. So we absolutely think trade helps our economy more than most people give it credit for. You know, trade is always one of those topics that when it comes to elections in our federal government, trade is one of those topics that usually falls to the bottom. I think it's because it's complicated. Most people don't understand it, all the nuances of it. But in fact, it is such an important driver for our economy, and all of us should start to learn much more about it. And that's what we're here about today. We want to show you that it's a valuable tool to boost your own income, your own family's income, maybe even support the country that you're from. So we look forward to showing you the way now. All right, I'd like to turn it over to Megan, who's the director of this great program. She's going to talk a little bit more about the program in general and who we serve. Megan, take it away.
Thanks so much, Karen. And hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. In regards to the Immigrant and Refugee program that we work on within the Global Trade Activator, who are we serving? We are focused on first-generation immigrants and refugees who have already created a business and are looking to expand internationally, or an immigrant or refugee who has an idea for a business. And we help provide customized guidance to take you from where you're at with your idea to product and market, you know, through the entire system. And what is it exactly that we're providing in this program? The sky's the limit, honestly, with what we're able to do and what we're wanting to do with everyone that's a part of our program. First and foremost, we provide customized guidance to create or grow your international business. We have, as Karen mentioned earlier, so many experts on our staff that will assist you in taking your idea to creating your business plan, to creating your marketing plan, to helping you find financial resources, etc. We have trained experts that are mentors that have experience from importing and exporting to accounting to legal services. We have student assistants who will be able to assist in putting websites together. Anything and everything to do with creating and growing your business, we have access to and are here to be a resource to help you grow and create that international business. We also have trainings and educational opportunities that we provide specifically for our immigrant and refugee programs, as well as for World Trade Center as a whole, that you will be provided access to if you're a member for a discounted price. We have our certificate of business development that we work with the University of Denver, and there are 4 different courses, including how to develop your business plan, how to develop a marketing plan and some branding along with creating a website, how to go about getting financial resources, and everything you need to know from a legal standpoint on creating and extending your business. We also provide English business classes. We work with the University of Northern Colorado. So if you are in a situation where English is not your first language and you would like to become a little bit more fluent in business language when it comes to the English language, there are classes that we provide scholarships for and work with the University of Northern Colorado on that will help make you feel more proficient to even get involved in some more of the more extensive training. We also provide Certificate of International Trade, which is available to everyone at World Trade Center that makes that helps assist you in becoming more proficient and importing and exporting and creating this international business so that you are able to have a locally based business here in the state of Colorado and impacting a global community. We also help you with financial resources. So we have a plethora of different organizations that we work with that help provide loans and grants. We also work with several organizations that provide scholarships to us so that we're able to provide grant funding for your business to get things kicked off. And we do also offer an introduction to international trade, which is available to all World Trade Center members. It does cost some money for someone who is not a member. However, if you're interested in this program and you would like to get a course for, an introduction to international trade, it's an incredible course. Please, my contact information is going to be in the chat here later, and we will send it in a follow-up email. Please email us, and we would love to get you that so that you can just get a little bit more of a feel for some of the training that we would be offering. We also provide networking opportunities. So not only do we provide opportunities for you to be able to work with your peers that are also a part of the program, but to network with the various industries across the state, with different trade experts, with different business leaders, anything and everything. We're always trying to connect anyone who's a part of our programs. When it comes to results, we help get you to where you want to go. I'm sure you wondered how this program has been going. Well, currently we have 40 international participants from across the world, as you can see, and we actually have just added a handful in just the last 2 days to this program as well. And we're incredibly excited to have this new funding from the City of Aurora that will help us be able to add even 30 more members to this program that we're going to be able to help assist in, thanks to the City of Aurora. But we, as you can see, are helping our participants now be able to create business plans. We're getting products into market. We're shipping. We're importing. We're helping anyone from an idea formation to someone who's already created their business. We have coaching sessions. We have workshop classes, everything we've talked about. And so this is kind of a feel for us getting you to where you want to go, which we'll be able to discuss a little bit later, thankfully, with Javion, so you can hear a little bit more of a personal experience within our program. How do you join? This is just tip of the iceberg of some of the benefits that you get in becoming a member of our program. And the membership cost is $100 a year, which is quite a deal. But even on top of that, we do have some scholarship opportunities. And if you want to learn more about the program or these scholarship opportunities, you will be able to contact me and also contact our incredible program manager, Amar, whose information is here as well. But as I mentioned, we'll be putting the information into the chat as well as a follow-up email. I'll hand it back to you, Karen.
Oh, sorry, couldn't get my mouse on the right screen. Sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you so much, Megan. So let me just tell you a little bit about why we started this program. The gentleman that you saw in the video, Usman, helped kick off this program about 3.5 years ago. And, the statistics show that immigrants are about 50% more likely than non-immigrants to be entrepreneurs, and 60% more likely to run an international company. And so why not, with those statistics, why not focus on this incredibly globally minded community that we know has the drive to start your own business? We don't have to teach you to be globally minded. You already are. You bring that to our community. We value your diversity. We value your experience. If you've never run a business before, but you have a great idea for a business, we're a good place for you to start. We also want to see you succeed. And so many of you, at least in our experience, are working 1, 2, 3 jobs. We've seen that. If you want to get out of that cycle and you want to start your own business and start to take control of your own wealth creation, this is what we can also support you with. So starting your own business that's international in nature, while it's complicated, it's certainly doable. And we know that you are the community to do this. And so that's why we started with Immigrant Refugee Entrepreneurs 3.5 years ago. This program is now scaling to other small businesses throughout the state. So if you are a company that's born here in Aurora, maybe you're not an immigrant, but you're still wanting to scale your business globally, we too can help you with that as well. So we look forward to having you all join this program, seeing what we can do for you. And we look forward to also showing you one success story here in just a moment. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so here are some of the companies that we've supported so far. Bibamba Chocolate. If you haven't seen Bibamba in some of the shelves, I know that they're selling in over 50 stores here locally. And Patrick started this company with his wife, and they are importing cocoa from their farm in Cameroon. They're actually upwards of 50 stores now in the metro area. Agile International, if you haven't ever seen Fatou's purses in some of the international markets, she sells handbags from Mali, and she's a B Corp, which means she gives back to the women of Mali to help boost economic development for them. So talking about trade for good, Fatou exemplifies this, and we're just thrilled about her success, and she's been a very strong supporter of the program. We also have Ahmed, who runs Natural Gems Jewelries from, he brings in really beautiful stone jewelry from Afghanistan. He started out in Cherry Creek Mall with the kiosk, and he also sells at various farmers markets and is doing great work and expanding his business. We also have a Colombian wooden company called Artect, and they're also doing quite great work here in Colorado. It now gives me pleasure to introduce Just Chill, and Javion is the principal of that company, the CEO, and he is importing breadfruit from Jamaica and selling that packaged breadfruit chips and doing quite well with his business, and now he's expanding. We're going to watch a short video from Javion, and then he'll be here to answer your questions and say a little bit more about his success.
This program is important because it leverages the connections that are made locally, that are developed over years from immigrants and refugees who have come from somewhere else, to actually use that resource that they don't even realize they have, which is the human capacity from back home to bring something new and exciting to the region, to the Rocky Mountain region and the wider Colorado. It's been a very diverse group of services that has been provided, from all the way from accessing finance, learning more about what that looks like, whether it's business development planning, also all the way to logistics planning, figuring out how to best get your stuff imported, what are the rules and stipulation needs to be followed, just like financial literacy. So it's been a very diverse set of expertise, and most importantly is they're not trying to give you a one-size-fits-all approach. They're definitely trying to tailor-made an approach that fits your business need as to where it exists at the point in time. So that has definitely helped to propel me forward. The program has definitely given me access to a vast amount of experts in the field. There's a huge resource of people here in the Colorado, Denver community who are just so excited to reach out and offer as much expertise as they can to see, young and budding entrepreneurs reach out and just develop. And many of those professionals are members of the World Trade Center, and so them offering up their services are just giving their insights, and how you can move forward is just so invaluable. It doesn't matter what small step you can take today to get you in that direction. It's not the size of the step you take, it's the fact that you take action. Because once you get started on this journey and you start making a difference and you start getting reactions that you're actually bringing value to the marketplace, it just creates a momentum in you that just makes you want to keep going. So I&I Foods by Just Chill Inc. is is a company that facilitates the transfer of food from the global south, this particular case is in Jamaica, to the Rocky Mountain region. And what it is breadfruit chips. It's imported from Jamaica, produced here locally, and so far it's been getting raving reviews in the marketplace. So look out for it. It's going to be coming to a shelf near you, and yep, I know you're going to enjoy it. And when you do, please reach out to through all the platforms that we're going to be having online, or whether it is that I pop up in a grocery store or one of us pop up in a grocery store. Just come say hello and try the product, and we look forward to connecting with you as we move forward.
So we have Javion here with us today. This video was shot almost a year ago, and Javion has already grown his business and even developed some new products. Javion, welcome. Please unmute yourself, and I'd love for you to share a little update on some of the new growth that you've experienced of late.
Thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here with you all. And I hope that everyone in here can get some very helpful insights and as to why they need to be a part of this wonderful program that the World Trade Center offers. I think point, and so had to, move into that direction. Nonetheless, that's been very helpful, because what that has done, that has really taken the project from just bringing, a new product in to the Rocky Mountains to really bringing a new product into the entire American mainstream market, in a sense. Because the product right now, so far, we've distributed at least sold products through e-commerce markets to over, every state of the U.S. except for Puerto Rico and Alaska. It might have actually been in Puerto Rico, but didn't sell it directly. And people are reaching out from, several different countries in the Caribbean in particular, trying to get their hands and figuring out how they can get some breadfruit chips. One of the biggest market right now asking for how they can get breadfruit chips is, interestingly, Canada. So it's gone just like far and wide, and, getting feedback. I've had meetings as far as, the Solomon Islands, and people trying to figure out what they can do with breadfruits, all the way down to Central America. So it's definitely reached a larger scope in just like, oh, it's just a, one market, but no, it's like, it's like Colorado is just that platform built upon what the World Trade Center has helped to do to really get that product to a wider audience across the globe in general, really.
So you started the program as an importer, and now you're hoping to grow as an exporter.
Definitely.
Yeah, maybe going through the program with our Advanced Global Trade Activator Accelerator now and helping you on the export side might be a way to go. Just to train you along the way and get you some more coaching and assistance and help you select the right markets for the breadfruit chips. Awesome.
Definitely. I think those are just some of the wonderful offerings from the World Trade Center, because now, we can just be talking here right now, and she can, Karen can just tell you right away what are some offerings that are available. And that's one of the great things about the World Trade Center, is because there's so many tools in the toolbox there that I can call upon. If I hit a roadblock somewhere, I can call upon the organization, and there are some tools that can be pulled out of the toolbox.
What was your favorite aspect of the program? What benefited you the most, would you say?
I would say I would probably put it in like a 3 C's, I guess. And it's a combination of everything that you guys do, really. It's classes, connections, and capital. Being able to really take the classes that are necessary to help me to figure out the next step if needs be. 2, finding the right connections in the right areas to potentially mentor me along the way. As to why reinvent the wheel when there's someone else probably traveled that path, and being able to gain some knowledge that has been figured out along the way. And then lastly, being able to access capital in certain to figure out how to move forward when capital is necessary. And capital is just more than financial capital, but it's also human resource capital. But nonetheless, I would say those 3 C's are probably the most beneficial.
Maybe the 4th C would be coaching. What was your experience like with our coaches?
I think the coaching was very helpful. Really being able to sit down with, again, like sitting down to discuss finance, and what exactly something like that looks like. My background is engineering, and so being able to get a different perspective on the and the financial side. Whereas for me, as an entrepreneur, you're naturally more inclined to like a little bit more of the risk taking, but then you're dealing with now with someone in the financial side, which the natural side, or the natural deviation is towards risk reduction. And so it's like it's getting that different perspective that helps you to make a more I would say a more balanced decision, because as an entrepreneur, that's what you do. As an executive, that's what you do. You make decisions, and your decisions pretty much weigh your outcomes, and then you just have to follow up those decisions with massive action as much as possible. So the coaching was very helpful.
What I love about your story, Javion, is that now you're on our institute board. You're one of our leaders in this program, and I do hope you'll give back and be a coach to others like you who are looking to start their first business in international trade.
Oh, definitely. And I've even had the opportunity to do so already. Just recently, I spoke with someone who was passed through the program, and they were introduced to. They're trying to import another product from the islands, and we sat down with them and had a discussion. And according to their feedback, immediately they said they got a lot of value from that, because I think there are things that I learned along the way. I think when you're doing business, there's certain soft part of it that doesn't get discussed, like culture. Like, how do you adjust your business to deal with culture, and helping to like understand that before you take it on, I think is a very helpful way to approach it. So definitely, I'm always very excited to pass on whatever helpful knowledge I can, as long as it doesn't conflict with whatever mission I have going. But it's always definitely very helpful to really like help along others who are taking on this journey, because I think the best part about this journey is not to get to the destination alone, is the actual interaction you get or the experiences you have along that journey getting to that destination. So
you're so well spoken about that. I mean, even the US business culture is something that you have to get used to. I'm sure it's very different than Jamaican business culture. What were some of the things that you had to get used to with US business culture?
I think with the U.S. business culture is it's very result oriented in a way, and in some ways it can kind of come off as like non-personal, it's very outcome driven, and so you better be willing to put in that those efforts to get the results you seek. And you can't necessarily, like, it's not a one side. Like, you have to always be trying to balance all the different sides, whether it's the legal, whether it's the fiscal, whether it's the financial, whether it's the actual international. When you do international trades, the documentation that requires, and being able to be up to date on that consistently. Now I think it's a little bit more straightforward, because there's an online component to it where you actually get updates when you actually need to, like, the USDA needs you to go update your license and documentation, the FDA needs you to switch out this and register a new facility number. Like, you have those things, but you still have to follow through on that. But because the system is so well developed already, and it's there to assist you, but in some ways it can feel like it's actually impeding your growth, because you just feel like it's just so much overwhelming things going on. But again, that's where I guess having the mentorships or having the resources comes in helpful, because now you can call upon all these different, personals who have been through this and who have those kind of access, or who have that kind of knowledge to reach out and say, hey, I am here. What do I need to do to get there? And that's why I think mentorship is so important.
That's so great. I'm so glad you said that, because, this program is, we're an expert guide to help you along the way. We're coaching you, but that doesn't mean we run your business for you. This is very much required for you to provide the drive and for you to provide the direction of where your business is going. But we want to show you the ropes. We want to help you get there. We're going to aid you in getting there. But it very much takes dedication and hard work, and maybe a few failures, and then starting again on a few products or development, but that's like every entrepreneurial journey. What we want to do is create a safe and helpful space for immigrant entrepreneurs to grow their business in a successful way the first time around. So that's really what we're here for. So Javion, thank you so much for sharing your story. I want to open it up to anyone from the audience who has questions for Javion, or while those questions are coming through either on the chat or verbally. Javion, do you have some advice for our newcomers to the program?
Definitely. I would say, taking the first step of like leaving your homeland under whichever circumstance it might be, is a major step. I think we underestimate in many cases what percentage of the population actually lives outside where they were actually born. And I think it's something like, I don't remember the exact percent, but I'm pretty sure it's around 5 or something percent. It's less than 10%. And so you taking that step is already a significant step to show like you're bold, you're doing something that's like not the norm. And I think that's kind of one of the reasons that gives us that drive to want to get out there and do something differently, because that's why we took the step in the first place. So I would say, like, even when you're now in that new landscape, like remain vigilant in a way, like keep fresh in your mind why you took that first step, and dream big, because guess what? This is America. This is the American dream, and it's really out there. It's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. But it's really going to be on us to really take the steps that are necessary to get there. Because guess what? If you don't, you're going to look back and be like, man, it was so much easier back then. And then they realize, like, wait, back then is now. And so take the actions now. I have additional stuff. I don't know how much time I have, but I would just say, in just like, persevere. The perseverance you put out when you start your first idea is really going to become your barrier of entry. That's keeping you safe in your business. So persevere beyond the basic obstacles. I would say, find your niche market, understand your niche market, and serve them well as best as you possibly can. Because guess what? They become your evangelists, and that's what you need. And I would say one of the things is, when you start getting those early successes, remain focused and remain humble. Like, that's a pretty big thing. It can easily get to your head when the media start talking about how great you're doing. The media doesn't know what's going on in the day-to-day. So don't let that stray your focus. Just keep on taking the small steps. Like, dream about the big picture, find the passion in the big picture, but really focus on the small step, because guess what? Those small steps are what's going to build the foundation of your future empires. Is what you take today, accumulate over time, that people are looking back and say those are your successes. It's not overnight. And find the people, find the resources, avoid reinventing the wheel, find out what already exists, leverage that as best as you possibly can, leverage your already developed connections and the relationships that have developed over time, like what the World Trade Center has. Lean on those, and the last thing I want to say there is, when you get feedback from either the marketplace or either your suppliers or wherever you get feedback from, evaluate those feedbacks against your goals as to what you're trying to attain, as opposed to against your feelings, because your feelings in many cases are probably wrong. So just keep some of those in mind. I know I kind of went through them pretty fast.
Javion, you may be an engineer by trade, but you are a sound businessman. This advice is very sound and very in touch. You don't fit the profile of a typical engineer. My father was an engineer, and in touch with his feelings wouldn't have been one of the things that he would talk about. So congratulations on your great success. We can't wait to see you thrive. And just know that we're here for you to continue your program, see you expand to new markets, maybe expand to new products. We want to help you along the way. We're always here for you. We are a nonprofit organization, an NGO. Our whole mission is to see you succeed. So please allow us to carry out our mission by helping you.
Thank you.
So-
And they are, I'm sorry. I
No,
was
go
going to
ahead.
say,
Please.
I was going to say there are 2 new products coming, actually 4 new products coming. And
Tell us,
there's
can you
gonna
talk about them
be-
yet?
Not yet, but I can
Okay.
say one of the product is going to be some variation flavors to the current breadfruit chips that's on the market.
Great.
2 of the new products are going to be some variants of breadfruit, but wait for the launch. They're
Right.
coming. And
We can't wait to celebrate with you on the launch, and we'll have you back for another program. So for those on the line, I haven't seen too many questions come through yet, but maybe we can close out by just reminding you, if you're questioning about this program and whether it's for you, I hope you'll reach out to our staff. We've got Amar Alima's email right here in the chat, so feel free to take that down. You can also go to our website at WTCdenver.org and look at Global Trade Activator for more information about this program. Also, if you want to test out anything, if you want to test out our class, our first class, Introduction to International Trade, Megan offered you a free pass to that. So be sure to email us and let us know that you're interested in that first class. It's a really great overview of what international trade entails. There's, of course, many more courses that back that up to teach you all of the areas that you can thrive in. We also are partnering with the University of Denver on a series of training where you can achieve your certificate of business development through the University of Denver. And we're offering scholarships for our attendees to take that program. So lots of great educational certificates that you can add to your resume, but also to your knowledge bank. So please look at us as a source or at least a connector for all of that training that you'll need to succeed in this line of business. With that, I'm going to close and see if Megan has any other further announcements before we close the program. And I also want to thank Javion for sharing your story and your inspiration. You are an inspiration to me.
You're an inspiration to me as well. Javion, it's just wonderful to talk to him. Please know also on this, anyone who's on this call, if you have questions for Javion or anyone else that's in our program and want to get, some personal perspective on it, by all means, I'm offering on behalf of Javion, I'm pretty sure he would say, okay, that we would get you his contact information so that you can talk to him as well. We want to give you everything that you possibly need to succeed in this program, enjoy this program. I just got a question in, is Javion willing to share his contact information? We got a head nod that he is, so we will send that to you as well. But thank you so much for joining. I am beyond excited to be a part of this program. When I first learned about it, meeting with Karen about a year ago, I was thrilled. It's an incredibly unique program. It offers so much. It's just, I love that we're taking anyone who is already just globally minded. Most US born business starters, entrepreneurs don't have that mentality. So you're steps ahead. We would love to be able to help you take that mindset and grow it. As Javion mentioned, through the American Dream, we have all of the resources and we want to give them to you so that you can succeed. So I'm excited to be here. I appreciate so much Karen and Javion being participants and helping me with this particular program. And for Ricardo and the City of Aurora for offering our scholarship for the program. Please shoot me an email, send Amar an email, give us a call at World Trade Center Denver. We would love to talk to you about it. We would love for you to join and talk about any scholarships, et cetera. We have a lot of things going on. Our first of the second round of DU classes starts tomorrow night. So we have all kinds of things happening soon. So please get in contact with us.
Great, Javion is our success story. Why don't we let you carry it out with the final remarks?
Oh, thank you, Karen. Definitely, thank you very much for having me here. It's always a pleasure sharing my experience at the World Trade Center. It's always a pleasure sharing my journey. Thank you as well, Megan. Very happy to have you on board. I love your enthusiasm and just like, the spirit you bring. That's wonderful. And for everyone who came on, I think thank you very much for being here. Obviously, if you're here, I know it's because there's a reason why you think there was a necessary reason to take that step. Like, keep that close to your mind and understand, like, what you have here is a wonderful resource that's able to allow you to live out your desires of somehow bringing something new, bringing something exciting, or just allowing you to live your best life. And it's 2021. We've been through a pivotal year last year, and we have been the one who have made it through. Now let's make it count.
That's great. Thank you all very much. We'll see you at our next event, and until then, happy trading.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.